There's a whole other realm of creativity that we don't talk about. We never talk about creativity being a vehicle to create so much change in yourself and in the world. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 pillars that make up conscious creativity, which is a concept that's helped me feel empowered in myself and how I choose to live my life, to help me create tools for dealing with difficult emotions and self-destructive tendencies, and to create the time in my day to work on creative hobbies like my YouTube channel. This video is for you whether you're a creative person or a non-creative person, and I'm so excited to dive into it and tell you all about the 3 different pillars of conscious creativity. Before we dive in, if you enjoy this content and you want to see more, please give this video a like. It really helps me out and it will help me to know if this is content that you want more of. You can also subscribe because why not? Come along for the ride. I'm going to share with you the 3 core pillars, and there's also one bonus reason at the end why conscious creativity is something that you should care about. If you're new here, hi, my name's Lucy, I'm 24, I live in London, and I love creating videos in my spare time around creativity, around travel, around thoughts that have been going on in my head, all things mindset and creativity. So stick around if you enjoy all of that content. Okay, let's dive into the 3 pillars. Pillar number 1 is mindfulness. We spend so much of our time racing around, either to work, back from work, trying to fit in other commitments, seeing family, seeing friends, creating time for ourselves, working on our own projects, and there's just so much that we could be doing with our time. And therefore there's a tendency to always race, to always rush, and to, in those middle moments, those kind of in-between moments, fill it with more distraction, because we're already on that hamster wheel, we're already going through the motions, and it can just be so easy to go through our whole day without ever taking a minute to sit down, to have a breather, and I'm so guilty of this myself. But I really think it's important to start here, because if you never have the time, the space that you've created in your day to even explore what's going on right now, there's no opportunity for creativity, for playfulness to emerge. So I think it's really important to start with mindfulness. If we're always distracted, we're never really present in our lives. We might wake up one day and be 50 and not know how we've got there, and still feel like we've never taken a minute for ourselves. For me, this pillar is all about paying attention to the world around you, noticing those little moments of beauty that you see, the sun coming between the clouds, someone you bump into the street doing something really kind, or a little animal that makes you smile, you know, whatever it might be. It's those little moments of observing and noticing what's around you that are so important to have a sense of presence, a sense of connection to the world and also to yourself. It's that shift from passing time to experiencing time, actually noticing the world. This is the first very important step in creating the life that you love. If you never have any moments of time, then I urge you to start with this step. And there's a few things that you can do to kind of cultivate mindfulness. Journaling is a practice that I absolutely love. Meditation is another great example. I really recommend Unjaded Jade's videos for perspectives on meditation. And a final one would just be being present when you're having a conversation with someone. Rather than thinking about other things, try and bring your attention back to the moment and the person that you're trying to connect to, because that just allows for so much more connection. So that's just 3 little things to cultivate mindfulness. On to pillar number 2. Okay, so the second pillar of conscious creativity is this idea of creative hobbies and experimentation, allowing yourself to play, allowing yourself to express things that might come up, express emotions, put time into creative hobbies and actually kind of give your energy to something physical or digital or whatever it might be. This pillar is all about those actual hobbies that you might do, whether it's for work, whether it's for fun, whether it's something you've never tried before or something you've done since you were 6, like it doesn't matter. It might be art, music, photography, videography, painting, drawing, dance, theatre. I'm sure there's so many more that I've forgotten. And this is kind of everything that I mean within this pillar. There's a quote that I love, which says that you're always either actively destroying or actively creating something. And for me, this is so true. I feel like so many times the self-critic, the negative voice in my head creeps in and immediately starts tearing me down and destroying anything that I've been working towards. But if I can try and switch that dynamic from the destructive energy to the creative energy, it allows for so much more positive things to just come into my life. When I'm going onto that negative thought spiral, trying to catch that and just sending it in a different direction has been really effective. So when someone normally refers to creativity or like a creative person, they tend to mean this sort of creativity. They mean someone who's good at art, someone who's good at music, someone who dances or sings or whatever it might be. And I think this is kind of the core of what makes up creativity, but it's not the only part, as we'll get onto that. And again, to break it down into 3 tangible things, I would say allow yourself to play, allow yourself to do it badly, and allow yourself to just see what happens and open yourself up to possibilities rather than always having a direction or an idea or an intention for how it should be and like putting loads of expectations on that. Trying to just approach this with an attitude of, I'm just going to see what happens. I'm just going to experiment, try it, be playful, see what happens. And I think this is the core of this creative play section. So creative play is an amazing way to express yourself, but it's not the only way to be creative. And I think this is where the biggest misconception that people say when they talk about creativity, where it comes in. Because so often you hear people say, I'm not a creative person, I'm just really bad at this, it's not natural to me, I'm not creative, I'm analytical, I'm rational, I'm good at numbers, whatever it might be. And I just don't think it's true. I think it's a story that we tell ourselves. I think, of course, people have natural abilities in certain areas. I cannot sing, I'm okay at drawing. I really enjoy photography and videography, and that side of things comes more naturally to me. But all of these things that I've been talking about are skills. We can be malleable. We're malleable humans. We can learn new things. We can pick up new skills. People are incredible teachers, and there's just so much potential to learn. So when someone says, I'm not creative, firstly, there's that side of things, but also there's a whole other realm of creativity that we don't talk about. We never talk about creativity being a vehicle to create so much change in yourself and in the world. And so this pillar is creative living. Creative living is all about creating a life for yourself that feels fun, expressive, expansive, empowering, giving yourself the permission to create the life that you want. I think so often we have all these big dreams, and I'm no exception to this. We have these visions of what we want to do with our lives, and we just shut it down because we say it's not for me, it's not something that's attainable to me. And ultimately that's just because we're not being creative enough with our thinking. That's my kind of core message here. This kind of creativity is all about problem solving. If there's a problem, I'm sure there's a creative solution. Our brains are very good at coming up with excuses for ourselves, but how about we train our brains to come up with ideas instead, to come up with workarounds and solutions and ways that we can make actual change happen and to work on important things that matter, or also just fun things. So some tangible things for this one, it might be taking a different route to work. Maybe you always get the same bus, the same tube, the same train, drive the same way to work, and that is your daily routine. It's built in, it's baked into what you do it by default. But what if you just took a different route? No one is stopping you. I think so often we just get so ingrained in our habits that there's not even this other voice active of saying, oh, what if I do this differently? Or is there another way that this could happen? And this is like the core of creative living for me. Taking a different route to work is just such a simple little example, but it's such a succinct way to explain what I'm trying to get out here. Another example might be having a conversation with someone that you typically don't get on with or don't agree with their opinions on, and trying to allow yourself permission to disagree with someone, to express that, and to also hear their side of things. Because if we all get so siloed into our 2 different groups, then it just ends up with everyone being pitted against each other at all times. What happened to this space in the middle where we can be creative with how we approach things, where we can imagine slightly different ways of our own opinions coming out? And I just think we've lost this grey zone. So that's like another example of creativity, is this creative approach to conversation and disagreements and dialogue, and just seeing like if there is another alternative rather than being so fixed in your own opinions. I'm not saying you have to necessarily change your opinions, but just opening yourself up to the possibility that you could have a different way of seeing the world. And the third kind of tangible thing you could practice here to do with this pillar of creative living is creating a 10-year vision for yourself, allowing yourself the permission to think big and to come up with all of your incredible ideas or dreams or visions for the world, letting your imagination run. You don't need to worry about your capabilities, you don't need to worry about your current life situation, you don't need to worry about money. Just what would be the most incredible version of yourself to be in 10 years' time? and just like run away with it. See what happens. You don't necessarily have to do anything else. Just allow yourself to be creative about the kind of life that you want, and therefore see if like any of those elements could be brought into your life maybe. I really strongly believe that if we allow our imaginations to be creative and to come up with things, ultimately creativity is just like making something, creating an idea, a concept, a solution, whatever it might be. Yeah, I just think that if we allow our brains to go there, they are so capable of doing it. Humans are fundamentally creative. I really believe that. And if you want more ideas on this, then I really recommend you reading Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. I'll put it on screen here. It's incredible. It's a 12-week program. You uncover all of your creativity. Doing it for the second time at the moment, and just, I love it so much. So that's a recommendation if you want to know more about this approach. And so those are the 3 pillars of conscious creativity: mindfulness, creative play, and creative living. And I hope that I've kind of explained what I mean by each of those 3 pillars in this video. I think that in itself, conscious creativity has so much potential to change your life. It is not going to happen overnight, but it's kind of a key to unlocking so much expansion and so much self-belief and fulfillment and purpose. And I really hope that maybe for one person out there, this can help you, and this can help you to do that. But it's not the only reason that I care about it. I think creativity is amazing in its own right, but there's also another reason. We kind of need to save the world. The climate crisis is only accelerating, and it is kind of scary. And to me, the solution that I've found in my life, and the thing that helps me to counteract the hopelessness and feeling really scared and fearful about what the future might hold, is doing something about it and actually taking action. And for me, the way that feels most natural is through creating things. I think this approach really can change the way you see the world and change the way you view your own ability to enact change. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. We have all the technical solutions we need for climate change already, but we're not implementing them fast enough. And this is where creativity comes in, because we need to create the solutions. We need to actually take them from ideas in our heads to business plans, to social enterprises, to community groups, and implementing technology. There's so much potential to actually make a difference, and if we don't want to live on a burning planet in 20 years' time, we need to act now. So this is kind of why I feel so passionately about this. It's not the kind of typical approach you see to combating the climate emergency, but I really think that we need creative people to move the needle and to actually make a difference. So this is where you come in. Please, if we're going to solve the world's biggest problems, we're going to need amazing thinkers, and we're going to need people who take action and actually do something about it. So if that's you, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you think about all of these different ideas. Get yourself a pen and paper, write down different ideas that you might have, get creative, be explorative in it. And I really just hope this video resonates with you. If you've got to this point in the video, thank you. This is something that I've had as a little brainchild for so long, and trying to take my own advice and actually take action. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you like this video, you might also like this one, which is me talking about my experience starting the Artist's Way again. And you also might like to know a little bit more about where I'm at in my life at the moment, and you can watch this playlist, The London Diaries. Leave a comment, reach out to me, do whatever, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.